Hi children, welcome back to the digital media of instructions. Hope you all studied the lesson what I've taught you the previous day. Let's continue with the same lesson, the Union Legislature, the Raj Sabha and the Lok Sabha. First we'll learn about the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha's composition, qualifications for membership, its tenure, then the leader of the house, then how the speaker is elected, and what are the powers, functions of the speaker. Then we learn about the advantages of the Lok Sabha. Let's learn one by one. First, let me ask you a question. What do you know about the Lok Sabha? The Lok Sabha is a lower chamber of the Union Parliament, isn't it? It's a lower chamber of the Union Parliament. And what is its composition? Here, the Lok Sabha or the House of the People are the elected representatives directly elected by the people on the basis of adult suffrage. This point you have to keep it in mind. It's a very important point. The composition, Lok Sabha or the House of the People are the representatives of the people. They are elected on the basis of the adult suffrage. Now, what is the maximum number of members in the Lok Sabha? What is the maximum number of members in the Lok Sabha? There are 552 members. Okay, this 552 members, out of 552, 530 are elected from various states and 20 from the Union territories and 2 from the Anglo-Indian community nominated by the President. Okay, 552 members. After that, 530 are from the states, different states. How many states do we have? We have 29 states. And 20 from the Union territories. How many Union territories we have? There are 7 Union territories. Then 2 from the Anglo-Indian community nominated by the President of India. Now, what are the qualifications needed for a person to be a member in the Lok Sabha? What are the qualifications needed? The first one, he should be an Indian citizen. Then he should be at least 25 years of age. He should have his name in the electoral roll in some parts of the country. Then he should not hold an office of profit under the government. He should not be an insolvent. He should not be a proclaimed criminal. And he should not be of unsound mind. These are the qualifications needed for a person to be a member in the Lok Sabha. Then what are the disqualifications? When we talk about the disqualifications, he will be disqualified if he holds an office of profit and he stands for election, is disqualified. Then what he has to do? He has to resign the job. Then only he can contest for elections. If he is not a citizen, he is disqualified. Then if he is of unsound mind, then he is disqualified. These are the important points that you have to keep it in mind. The qualifications needed for a person to be a member in the Lok Sabha and what are the disqualifications also. Then comes, we learn about the tenure, or we call it as the duration of the house. What is the tenure? The normal tenure is 5 years, but it can be extended. It can be extended for 1 more year. When it can be extended? During emergencies. When emergency situations comes, it can be extended also. At the same time, before the expiry of its term, it can be dissolved also. When there is no confidence, when there is a no confidence motion is passed against the government by the opposition, the President dissolves the Lok Sabha. Now, how many sessions are there in the Lok Sabha? There are normally 3 sessions: the budget session, the monsoon session, and the winter session. When we talk about the 3 sessions, but in the Lok Sabha, they should at least meet twice in a year. That means within the gap of 6 months, they have to meet. Now, what do you mean by session? The House meets to conduct its business, isn't it? Now, what is the quorum? What is the quorum? Minimum number of members required to be present before the meeting begins. Now, what is the quorum here? 55, or we call it as 1/10 of the members should be present. Okay? Now, when it comes to the leader, who is the leader of the Lok Sabha? The leader of the Lok Sabha is the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the leader of the Lok Sabha. Then, how the Speaker is elected? The Speaker is elected among its members, or we can tell that he is unanimously elected among its members. Okay, the Speaker is unanimously elected among its members. Then, what are the powers and functions of the Speaker? Before that, one more thing I have to tell. How the opposition leader is selected. Opposition leader is selected from the second largest political party, and he enjoys the privileges or the status of a cabinet minister. Now let us come to the powers and functions of the Speaker. What are the powers and functions of the Speaker? The first and the foremost function is regulating the business of the House. The second one, the disciplinary functions of the House. Then comes the administrative function. And the fourth point is supervisory control over parliamentary committees. These are some of the important points that you have to keep it in mind, and you have to remember always when during the exams and all, most of these functions of the Speaker can come. So what are the functions? The first one is regulating the business of the House. Second one, disciplinary function. And the third one, administrative function. And the fourth one, supervisory control over parliamentary committees. Now we learn about the first one, regulating the business of the House. Who is regulating the business of the House? The Speaker presides over the meetings and conducts its proceedings. And second one, he decides the question, the admissibility, or he decides the admissibility of question, resolutions, and motion of adjournment. And he is the guardian, the Speaker is a guardian of the rights and privileges of the House. And the fourth one more point, he certifies whether the bill is a money bill or an ordinary bill. Then comes the disciplinary function. Disciplinary functions. The Speaker maintains order in the House. He or she may name a member for suspension for a specified period if the member disregards the authority of the chair. Second one, if a word or words used in the debate are indecent or unparliamentary, he may remove such words from the proceedings of the House. The Speaker decides whether there is a prima facie case regarding breach of privilege or the contempt of the House. Administrative functions. The Speaker receives all petitions and documents addressed to the House. Speaker communicates the decisions of the House to the concerned authorities. He allows the admission of visitors and the press correspondence to the galleries of the House. Now, the supervisory control over the parliamentary committees. The committee of the House function under the overall direction of the Speaker. The chairman of all parliamentary committees are nominated by the Speaker. Committees like the Business Advisory Committee, the General Purpose Committee, and the Rules Committee work directly under the chairmanship of the Speaker. Now, there are other functions also. The Speaker presides over the joint sitting of both the houses, and he is the chief spokesman of the Lok Sabha. Okay, he is the chief spokesman of the Lok Sabha. Now let us learn about the advantages of the Lok Sabha. Now, what are the advantages of the Lok Sabha? It's a house of the people, maker of the government, then may throw out the government at any time, then financial power. These are some of the advantages of the Lok Sabha. The main thing is, according to when we talk about the financial power, the Lok Sabha is more powerful because the money bill originates in the Lok Sabha. So, are you clear with this? Advantages of the Lok Sabha: house of the people, maker of the government, may throw out the government at any time, then financial power. Now let us start with the Rajya Sabha. Now, what is its composition, the qualifications, its tenure, and who is the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha? So when we talk about the Rajya Sabha, the composition, there are 250 members. 230 are elected and 12 are nominated. Then what is the qualification? What is the qualifications? He should be an Indian citizen. Then he should be at least 30 years of age. When we talk about the Lok Sabha, he is 25, at least 25 years of age. Here, he should be 30 years of age. He should not be a criminal. He should not be of unsound mind. He should not be an insolvent. Such persons can contest for the Rajya Sabha election. Now, what is the tenure of the Rajya Sabha? The tenure of the Rajya Sabha is 6 years. Every 2 years, 1/3 of its members retires. Every 2 years, 1/3 of its members retires. Now, who is the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha? The Vice President. When the Vice President acts as the President, what happens? The Deputy Chairman will take care of that place. Now let us learn about what are the powers and functions of the Rajya Sabha. What are the powers and functions of the Rajya Sabha? The first and the foremost one is the legislative power. Then comes financial power, administrative power, then judicial power, and electoral power. Okay, now let us learn about the advantages of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, advantages of the Rajya Sabha. Now, what are the advantages of the Rajya Sabha? There are a lot of points given in the text, but I'll explain only 4 points here, and you need to learn only that much. And first one is revision of bills. The second one, relieving the burden of the laborers. Then the third point is services of able persons can be secured. Then the fourth one, it's a permanent house. Now, revision of bills. What do you know about revision of bills? Here, sometimes the Lok Sabha is burdened with a lot of work. Then what happens? This Rajya Sabha, they revise the bills and find out the shortcomings. The second one is relieving the burden. of the lower house. How? The upper house, they'll have a thorough discussion about the bill and they find out the shortcomings so that the Lok Sabha they will not allow them to waste their time. Then comes services of the able personalities. Can be secured. How? The president nominates 12 persons from various places. That means from arts, science, literature. From there, the president nominates 12 personalities. Then comes the permanent house. The Rajya Sabha, of course, I told you before, it's a permanent house. It cannot be dissolved because every 2 years, 1/3 of its members retires. 1/3 of its members retires. These are some of the important points we have to remember. Now, let me conclude here. We have already learned about the Lok Sabha, qualifications, tenure, and powers and functions of the speaker. Then we learned about the Rajya Sabha, its composition, qualification, and their powers and the advantages of the Rajya Sabha. All this, you keep it in your mind and learn. Okay, when you come to the next class, learn all this and come. Okay, let me stop here. Thank you.